in the morning.
Welcome back to the channel. Everyone, today is Monday, a beautiful day to dive into some serious daytime television drama. We have so much to talk about, and the coffee is flowing, so let's just get right into the thick of it. And let's be real, we all knew this day was coming. Nikki Newman has been walking around Genoa City for what feels like an absolute eternity, clutching her head and pretending everything is completely fine, but it is not fine. It has not been fine for a very long time. Honestly, it is so frustrating to watch her be this stubborn. You guys know exactly what I mean, right? She just keeps brushing it off. She tells everyone it is just stress or just a minor flare-up of her multiple sclerosis. But we the viewers know better. We have seen her stumbling. We have seen the sheer agony on her face when no one else is looking. And I am just so relieved that she is finally keeping her promise to go to the doctor. It is about time. Maybe I am being too harsh, but you get what I mean. So the symptoms have just gotten way too severe to sweep under the rug anymore. The blurred vision is the big red flag here. Headaches are one thing. And yes, they have been crippling, blinding headaches that literally make her dizzy. But when your vision starts going, you can't just pop a painkiller and take a nap. And the near fainting spells. She has almost hit the floor multiple times now. It is terrifying to watch. The writers have been dragging this out, giving us these little hints and clues that something massive is wrong with her brain. It is not just a mess, it is something new, something darker. And Nikki knows it too deep down. That is exactly why she has been avoiding the doctor. She is terrified of what they are going to tell her. But thank goodness for Victoria Newman. Victoria is the real MVP in this specific situation. I know we all have our issues with Victoria sometimes, and she can be so cold in the boardroom. But when it comes to her mother, she is fiercely protective. Victoria noticed the signs. She saw the trembling, the confusion, the pain, and she just kept pushing. She pressured Nikki relentlessly. She basically backed her mother into a corner until Nikki had absolutely no choice but to agree to see a specialist. Victoria knew that if she didn't force the issue, Nikki would literally just suffer in silence until it was too late. So, Victoria stepping up and being the responsible one here is a great character moment. And I have to mention the scheduling weirdness lately. I know the show had to adjust some scenes recently to fit the broadcast schedule against that whole Beyond the Gates crossover event. Which, honestly, was a bit of a mess. It felt like the pacing got totally thrown off for a minute there. We were all waiting for Nikki's diagnosis, and then suddenly we are dealing with crossover drama and tornadoes and whatever else. It was clunky. Really clunky. But they are finally pulling the storyline back on track. The latest leaks confirm that Monday, June 22nd is the big day. That is the episode where everything is going to change for the Newman family. So mark your calendars, because this is going to be a heavy episode. So let's talk about that doctor visit. I can already picture the scene in my head. Nikki sitting on that crinkly paper on the exam table, looking frail but trying to look regal. Victoria sitting in the plastic chair next to her, probably gripping her purse so tightly her knuckles are white. The clinical, cold atmosphere of the hospital room just pressing down on them. And then the doctor walks in, and Nikki is going to know the second the doctor opens their mouth that her worst fears are coming true. The diagnosis is going to be absolutely devastating. The spoilers say it is a difficult diagnosis, a grim reality that will turn Nikki's world completely upside down. She is going to be so confused and terrified. We are hearing heavy rumors about a fast-growing brain tumor. Or maybe some incredibly aggressive neurological disease that is compounding with her MS. Whatever the specific medical term is, the bottom line is that her life is in immediate danger. It is life-threatening, the clock is ticking, and hearing a doctor actually say those words out loud is going to hit Nikki like a freight train. She is going to be reeling from this incredibly difficult information. And Nikki's reaction is going to be pure shock. She won't want to believe it. She will probably try to deny it at first, or ask if they mixed up the charts. Because that is what people do when they get handed a death sentence. They look for any possible mistake. Nikki is going to fear that her time is running out. That she won't get to see her grandchildren grow up. That she won't get to fix the broken pieces of her family. It is going to be a moment of profound, paralyzing fear. Melody Thomas Scott is going to deliver an amazing performance here, I just know it. She plays that fragile but proud energy so perfectly. But underneath the pride, Nikki is just a terrified woman facing her own mortality. But the harsh reality is that there is no time to sit around and process this. The doctor is not going to give her time to cry. The medical team is going to want to work fast. They will be talking about immediate referrals to top-tier specialists, aggressive treatment plans, maybe emergency surgery or intense radiation. Nikki is not going to have the luxury of going home and sleeping on it. She has to start treatment immediately if she wants the best possible chance of surviving this nightmare. And then we have to look at Victoria's emotional state during all of this. Victoria is going to be right there by her mother's side, trying to absorb this catastrophic news. Victoria is going to be emotionally devastated. I mean, completely shattered on the inside. But she is going to try so hard to hide her fear. She knows that if she breaks down and starts sobbing, Nikki will only get more panicked. So Victoria is going to put on this brave, stoic mask. She is going to try to be the rock. She will hold Nikki's hand, ask the doctor the tough questions, and take notes on the treatment options. Victoria will refuse to let Nikki lose hope. Victoria is going to be the ultimate cheerleader in that room. She will remind Nikki that she is a fighter, that she has survived alcoholism, kidnapping, MS, and a million other things. Victoria will focus on the fact that there are treatment options available. She will try to inject some optimism into this incredibly dark moment. But we all know that the second Victoria is alone, maybe in the hospital hallway or in her car, she is going to absolutely break down. The weight of this diagnosis is going to crush her. But here is the massive twist that is going to cause so much chaos. Nikki does not want Victor Newman to know. Let me say that again, because it is wild. Nikki is facing a deadly illness, and she wants to keep her husband completely in the dark. What is she thinking? I mean, I kind of get it. But also, this is insane. You do not hide a brain tumor from your husband, but Nikki is adamant. She is going to swear Victoria to secrecy. She is going to demand that Victor is not told a single word about this doctor's visit, the diagnosis, or the treatment plan. It is a huge, massive secret. And we have to look at the psychology behind why Nikki is doing this. She is absolutely furious with Victor right now. And honestly, Victor deserves her anger. He has been acting like a total monster lately. He literally orchestrated the kidnapping of Jack Abbott, paying Patty Williams to drug Jack on a yacht. Victor's vendetta against Jack has destroyed lives, and Nikki is disgusted by his ruthless, criminal behavior. So, in her mind, Victor doesn't deserve to be let in on her most vulnerable moment. But there is another layer to it. Nikki does not want Victor's pity. She knows exactly how Victor operates. If Victor finds out she is dying, he will instantly drop his war with Jack. He will come running back to the ranch, playing the role of the devoted, doting husband. He will try to smother her with attention, and money and medical resources. But Nikki doesn't want him back just because he feels guilty or sorry for her. She wants a partner who respects her, not a dictator who only softens up when she is on her deathbed. She is too proud to accept his pity. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. Her pride is a huge factor here. So now Victoria is trapped in an impossible situation. She is stuck right in the middle of her parents' toxic dynamic once again. Nikki is forcing Victoria to carry this massive, life-altering secret. But Victoria knows that Victor has the power and the connections to get Nikki the absolute best doctors on the planet. Victor could fly in specialists from Switzerland tomorrow if he knew. Can Victoria really look her father in the eye and pretend everything is fine while her mother's health rapidly deteriorates? It is an agonizing choice for Victoria. Does she respect her mother's dying wish, or does she betray her mother to potentially save her life? Honestly, I don't think Victoria is going to be able to keep her mouth shut. I really don't. The pressure is going to be way too much for her to handle alone. Victoria is a daddy's girl at her core, and when push comes to shove, she is going to realize that Nikki's life is more important than Nikki's pride. I predict that Victoria is going to take matters into her own hands and eventually spill the secret to Victor. Actually, wait. Now that I think about it, Victoria is terrified of her mother's wrath right now. Nikki just slapped Lily across the face recently. She is not playing games. Maybe Victoria will keep the secret just out of pure fear. I don't know, I keep changing my mind on this. But man, when Victor eventually finds out, and just imagine Victor's reaction when he finally learns the truth. If Victoria tells him, Victor is going to lose his mind. He will be furious that they hid it from him. But more than that, he will be terrified. We rarely see Victor Newman truly scared, but the thought of losing his wife is his ultimate kryptonite. He will go into full-on dictator mode, but it might also be the wake-up call Victor desperately needs to stop his petty wars and focus on what actually matters. The clock is ticking for Nikki Newman. This storyline is setting up to be the emotional anchor of the entire summer. It is going to be a rough ride for the fans, but the drama is going to be top tier. Will the treatment work? Will Nikki's body be able to handle aggressive therapy on top of her mess? So, we are buckling up for a heartbreaking journey. It is clunky, it is messy, and it is full of the classic Newman family dysfunction that we all love to hate. I am exhausted just talking about it, honestly, but I care about Nikki, and I want to see her beat this. What do you guys think? Do you think Victoria is going to betray Nikki and tell Victor? And do you think Victor's reaction will push Nikki further away or bring them back together? Let me know your thoughts, because this is going to be a wild ride.